All right. I'm gonna let everyone take a few minutes to get in before we get started. All right. How's everyone doing today? We'll chat a little bit before we actually get started.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
Nice weather up here. Getting springy. Flowers.
You have nice weather?
Yeah, nice enough.
Oh, it's pouring and cold down in New Jersey.
Right. It was sunny out here, Alex Morgan. So I think you all know this. Alex is about, maybe a 20-minute drive from me, but he has sun all the time and it's raining here in Underhill. So. Okay. Sweet. All right. So I think we're good to go. Let's get started. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us at our first LinkedIn Live. We're going to see how it goes. Apologies for our technical challenges if we encounter them. We're really excited. We thought that this would be a great opportunity for us to share some of our ClickUp expertise. I'm Alex Tuck. I'm the founder and managing principal of Tuck Consulting Group. We are a 60-person project management consulting firm, all based in the US. We specialize in delivering project management services to small businesses and nonprofits. And in the context of this session, we're also a top 5 implementer in North America of ClickUp. So just a few administrative things before we jump in. This is a 30-minute session. It's going to be a quick fire. It's intentionally quick, but we will be sharing materials after this in the comments. And this is obviously a live session that will be recorded. And so the recording will be available afterwards as well in case we slide through something a little quicker than you can follow. But with that, we're very excited to have 4 incredible consultants, all Tuck consultants who are also ClickUp solutions experts. So let's meet some of them right now. Alex Morgan, why don't you go first?
Sure, pleasure to be here. Nice to see some folks and to have a nice live session with our team. I'm the IT professional services practice lead here at Tuck Consulting, so engagement management and driving a lot of our IT professional services work, which includes ClickUp implementations and onboarding packages. I love using ClickUp and kind of diving into the weeds with it as well. So excited to join and talk through some of our favorite features. Excuse me.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. For Lindsay, why don't you go next?
Hi, everyone. My name is Lindsay Tyler. I've been using ClickUp, oh goodness, since like beta and 1.0. Personally, I love it. I recommend it to all of my clients. So it's really nice to now be a ClickUp expert and help small businesses and nonprofits implement ClickUp. So happy to be here. Hi, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks for Lindsay. All right, Galanda, why don't you go next?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Galanda Brooker. I'm based out of Baltimore, Maryland currently. And I love ClickUp for its flexibility. It's like you can do so much or so little or anywhere in between. So I'm happy to share one of my favorite features with you all today.
Awesome. And last but not least, Jackie.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Alex. My name is Jackie Mislinski. I am in rainy New Jersey today. I've been using ClickUp for about 2.5 years now. And kind of like Galanda said, I love it for its simplicity or its complexity. I use it for my personal craft projects. I use it for my shopping list. I assign my husband household tasks. He hates it. So someone once called me like the chief cheerleading officer of ClickUp, and I just love to use it, and I love to teach people how to be more productive in their work.
Awesome. I'm so excited to have you all show off your favorite features. The thing I love about ClickUp the most is, oh my goodness, their roadmap is humongous, their feature roadmap. And every single week I go into ClickUp and I'm like, oh my goodness, there's even more features. And then you all know this because you're in the group chat. Like we have our group chat where we're like, oh my gosh, have y'all seen this new feature that came out? And so the purpose of today is to talk to the 4 consultants that are on boots on the ground and do the work every single day, and hear what their 4 favorite features are now that 3.0 has dropped, and we're in this new area for ClickUp. So Jackie, since you were the last one to introduce yourself, why don't we have you do the first, talk about your feature first, and I'm going to share my screen and hopefully it works well. There we go. All right.
All right. I've got my notes as a backup.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Go for it, Jackie.
Thank you, Alex. So one of my new favorite features that I got super giddy about is dashboards as views. No more searching through the dashboard hub to see if a dashboard even exists, where it is. Is it just named dashboard because nobody renamed it? Another trick sometimes is the dashboards are private by default. So if you don't share it, somebody may not know it's there. So if you create it in a view, it's public automatically. Everyone has access to it. It's right where you need it. So less clicking, more data, more efficiency. So to create a new dashboard as a view, I think I already went through that in the screen share, but you would click on new view. You would select dashboard, and it's right there with the list, the board, the workload, all of that. So you would click new view, and you can select from one of ClickUp starter dashboards or a custom one. And your dashboard pops up pre-populated if you pick a template with all of the data directly in that list. You can also create one at a folder or a space level. So there's complete flexibility there. One of the kind of hidden, I shouldn't say hidden, but kind of nested features that I love that I'm showing now is formula calculations. This I got beyond giddy for. It was kind of pathetic. But in the past, we could calculate a formula just across the task. So in my example that I showed here, we're building houses. So our formula was their budget minus our cost was our delta. So are we over or under budget? But now, like on a column on a spreadsheet, we can calculate that formula across all of our projects. So now we could see, are we over or under budget aggregated? And as a bonus, we can now put that as a card, which you're seeing now. So you can click add a custom calculation card. So we'll see here in a second that you can have a total aggregate over or under budget at 14,000 across all of our projects and all of our houses that we're building. And our average over or under budget per completed project is, I think it said 4,800. Yep. So you can have a dashboard directly in your project and formula some aggregate calculations, which just gets me excited.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jackie.
You're welcome.
And apologize, we ran into our first technical challenge. It's a little laggy when we're doing it via StreamYard. So thanks for working through that, Jackie.
You're welcome.
Yeah, very fun feature. Calculations in dashboards is one of the coolest things that I've seen out there. So thanks for sharing that, Jackie. Galanda, you are up next. Let me make this big.
Thank you.
All right, let's see it. Let's get it to work.
Yeah, so the ClickUps Hub is accessible from the top navigation pane right here where you would go to get a ClickUps Hub. You can get it from the top right navigation pane, or you can go to the left right there and get to the ClickUps Hub. It shows you all of the clips that you've done before, and you can even unpin it. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but you have that option if you don't want to have more stuff in your left navigation pane. You have a couple of different ways to view it. You can view it as a list or tiles as it's before, as you can see here. And one of the things that I really enjoy here is the renaming as well. So you can click through here very easily, rename. You could just click down at the name. Before you couldn't do that. So that's really helpful when you go back to figure out, okay, what was this? What did I record here? I have no clue. So being able to rename them is very, very value added. You can also rename from the top right. So like we're familiar with other technology products, you can do the same thing multiple ways. Another great feature is you can add comments right within your screen captures. So if there's some particular note at a particular time in your video, you can put that in. You can assign that comment just like you would in a task to someone, or you can tag them at a specific place. So that's extremely helpful if you're trying to do some kind of instructional thing or you need someone to follow up on a particular point. So those are two of the fantastic things that I really enjoy about it as well. And so you can go here and assign the comment. I'm just showing you how, in addition to tagging, you can assign it so that it will show up in your home tab. You'll get notifications for it as well. So you can make sure the person can say, well, I didn't have any idea. I assigned the comment to you. You know, you saw that. In addition, you can download your video in case you want to use it in another space, maybe on your YouTube or some other PowerPoint or some other document within your organization. You can also copy the link where you don't have to worry about a download at all. And you do not have to have ClickUp in order to view the link. So very easy to copy the links, very easy to delete clips. All in all, really simplifying how you're able to be more productive and stay within your ClickUp environment.
Thank you so much, Yolanda.
Yeah.
I was incredibly excited to see clips show up because I found maybe 15 different clips of myself and rambling, trying to show someone how to do something in operations. So that was really fun.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
And then how about
Oh yeah, I think it was some. There was some little content there that said the top 5 things that I liked about ClickUp, but I don't see them there now. But that's okay. That is just a little video to show how you can create the different comments within it. I was just going to say my quick rundown of the 5 is you have an automatic archive. Before, you didn't be able, if you didn't copy the link or download it right away, it was gone. You can rename for easy access. You can screen record any tab, window, or even full screen on your computer. And then you can comment. Your recordings can be with or without audio. So in this demonstration, I did it without audio. And then you can also comment. So really wonderful things with the ClickUp Clicks Hub.
Awesome. Thanks, Belinda. All right, Berlinti gets the prize for the most advanced features that are new with ClickUp. She's going to cover 2 things. Berlinti, why don't you kick it off here? I'm going to make it big, and then we'll get started. All right, go for it, Berlinti.
Okay, awesome. So for mine, my new favorite features are the universal search feature. So what universal search does is you can connect your Google Drive, Dropbox, Figma, any of your file storage, and you can actually search for your files directly within ClickUp. So you can have a private universal search, so if you wanted to connect your personal file storage, but you can also have a shared enterprise level search where you can connect a team account and search through the team files. So that is really, really cool. My next favorite, and this makes ClickUp's possibilities endless. And when I say endless, I really mean like there are probably tens to hundreds of thousands of things that you can do with the new command setup. So with ClickUp commands, where it really shines is connecting webhooks and cloud-based triggers through Zapier or Make. In this instance, we're showing how to play Spotify from ClickUp. So with a simple / command, you can start your playlist right in ClickUp without ever having to leave the platform. You can also build really simple weather apps. Even with this, you can get more powerful. Some of my favorite ones are if you use Git or GitHub, you can make and submit pull requests and submit branches for your projects. You can send messages to Slack without ever having to leave. You can also use ClickUp commands for like copy paste text. So if you have a canned template, when you get an introduction, you can actually build that into ClickUp and just say command/hey and get your whole introductory email without ever having to leave ClickUp. You can even post on Instagram now by setting up one of these simple commands. So the possibilities are endless. It works for your engineering teams to your marketing teams, and it's all right within ClickUp. Personal favorite. Knocked it out the park with that one.
Awesome. Great. Thanks for Lindsay. That is, I told everyone that's definitely the power user, advanced user review there. So thank you for showing us that. All right. And last but not least, Alex Morgan is going to talk to us about a couple of neat features. All right. Hold on one second. There you go, Alex.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. That was really cool too, Lindsay, and nice to see in the live version there. All right, so one of my new favorite features here is the new ability to use dynamic people fields as automations to trigger things like assigning a task to someone based on their presence in another type of a field. So what I walked through here was setting up a kind of a simple automation, and when you go into your automation settings now, you can use your change assignees action, not just to specify one actual user as it used to be, but now you can specify something like change the assignee to a watcher, to the person who created the task or who triggered the automation, or to someone from another field. So in this case, let's say we have requests coming in for new ads or something like that, and we don't want to have the task assigned to that person right at the bat because it's not ready to start or approved to start. If you can use that person's information to put them in a different field as a requester or something like that, then you can say, when I approve this task to move forward, automatically assign this task to that person, the requester, without having to set up a bunch of more convoluted automations that would say, for instance, if X is the requester, then assign to X over and over again. That's the way it used to be. And now that you can do this more dynamically, it makes it a lot easier to kind of pass the baton as you're moving through parts of a process. And you can use this for no other neat features as well. I really like that. That's going to be a game changer for some of our more advanced processes. And then task-specific reminders down here. This one is something that it's kind of existed already. There are now reminders in ClickUp that you can set up as a user where you would be notified with a little quick, different kind of a reminder rather than notification for every task that's about to be due in up to 3 days or something like that. So you can set to have it remind you automatically across all of your tasks. But now you can set an individual reminder for a task, like I just did here, by right-clicking and click Remind, and it will show up now in your list of reminders, just as a very, very quick thing to say, hey, there's something I have to do. I can snooze it, I can delete it, or I can turn that into a more concrete task and then recognize that this is something I need to do a little more advanced than just writing on a notepad, or making a little easier than making a set of subtasks or checklists for certain things. And adding it to the personal list, I think, is another big useful one. Yeah, those are both super helpful, and I think different ways to streamline your work and make things more efficient.
Awesome, great. So now we have a lot of very cool things that we can all start using, and I think there are a couple of new ones in there for me that I haven't used personally. So thank you all for sharing those. With about 12 minutes left, we want to be good project managers, right? So we want to make sure we end on time and get you back to the rest of your day or to your weekend if you're cutting out early. But we have a few questions in the Q&A, and I know that folks have been, our team has already been responding and giving some answers, but I just want to highlight it and do it verbally as well. So I'm going to scroll up to top of some of these questions. There's a good one here. More about how long a typical ClickUp onboarding process takes and what to expect for a small business. And Galanda, I think you responded to that. I'd love for you to elaborate a little bit and describe that to the audience.
Sure. So the implementation or onboarding process really depends on the size of your organization and then the complexity of what you're trying to do with ClickUp. However, at the very base level, we suggest somewhere between 25 and 30 hours. This allows for your ClickUp expert to really get to know your team, get to know what are your pain points, and then be able to create a solution that will make it more transparent, more efficient, and alleviate some of those stresses that you're having using maybe some other tools, or maybe you don't have any tool at all. And so 25 to 30 hours is our base kind of start to onboard with a ClickUp solution.
Awesome. Thank you. And I'd love to hear what's the fastest implementation anyone has had with like something simple?
Well, even within that hour, I mean, you could have a solution within a matter of hours, really, like depending on what it is that they have to do. For example, recently, I had some marketing task management for a communications group, and their solution probably took about 5 hours between meeting, getting to learn what it is, and then building the solution. So that specific solution as part of their larger ClickUp implementation only took about 4 or 5 hours.
That's great. That's great. And I know, I mean, ClickUp generally, they try to get everything done in 4 to 6 weeks in general. And it really does depend on how quickly the client likes to move. I mean, we can do this 25 or 30 hours in a couple of weeks if everyone's ready to roll.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's great. All right, Andrew, one of our teammates had a question. Jackie, is there a limit to the number of dashboards or views that you can set up in ClickUp? You want to talk about that a little bit, Jackie?
Yes, and I promised in the chat that I would find a detailed answer, and I have. So on a free plan, you are limited to 100. It says uses of a dashboard, so I'm going to say that is a dashboard itself. On any paid plan, you are unlimited on the number of dashboards you can have. Now on views, the free plan lets you have all views except a team view, which gives you nice boxes to show all of your tasks by assignees. So you can't have that. You can't have a map view, which if you have an address custom field, it's going to pop all those addresses on a Google map. And you can't have a form on a free plan. Oh, excuse me. On a business plan or higher, you have unlimited number of uses of all the views. So if we go one step backwards to unlimited, which is one step above free, you are limited to 100 uses of team, 7 days of an activity feed, which is kind of like an audit of all of the clicks, 100 uses of timeline view, workload view, 100 maps, 100 mind maps, which is kind of like a flow chart, and then 10 whiteboards.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jackie.
Sure. You can find all those details too on clickup.com/pricing is a nice chart of all the features and functionalities that you get with each plan.
Awesome. All right, let's see. Erica had another good question. So is it free to add employees to a ClickUp space? Can they be added to individual spaces, or will they automatically have to access all spaces associated with the account? Who wants to take this one?
I volunteer.
Go for it, Alex.
Yeah, so this is a good one because you can add, employees can be added to your ClickUp space in a few different ways. Hypothetically, you can add them as guests if they are on a different domain from your typical work domain, like tuckconsulting.com. So you'd be able to add them as a guest in a limited fashion. They can have full access to things. They just would not be able to be added to an entire space at the same time. You'd have to add them to a folder or a list or one of the lower level items, but then they could still make full use of ClickUp as a guest, which is really powerful for clients and partners and other relationships like that. For people that are employees of your organization that you want to have maybe a more limited use of ClickUp and hopefully not have to pay for all of the same kind of features and functionality, you can make them view only members of your workspace, which is free. I don't know if there's a limitation to the quantity of those. There is a limitation on guests. That's a proportion of how many licenses you have. So I don't actually know how many view-only seats, if there's any kind of limit there. I haven't encountered it, so that's a good sign. But that's kind of a rare case, and that's something that they just can read things in ClickUp. So if you wanted to have people not have to do work in ClickUp or not have to manage processes, but be able to receive information or go in and see the status of a project or something like that, that's a great example of when using that view-only rights. Otherwise, if they're going to be added to your workspace and using ClickUp, you need to pay for a member seat for them, and it would be the same cost for any other member seat. As you add new people, it will automatically increase your seat count as you like to. They can be added to individual spaces. So I guess that's the first part, is just pricing and seats and whatnot. But in terms of permissions, yes, you can add members to your workspace and give them full access to everything in your workspace, or limit access pretty much as granularly as you'd like. You can give a full user access to only one thing in ClickUp if you wanted to, and then limit whether they can view it, read it, edit, etc. Or you can give them full access to the entire workspace and still make changes as to various things that they can access. Everything is kind of open from the start, but it's very easy to lock things down and to make things more or less accessible to people, or just not share them with the people you don't want to have access at all.
Awesome. Thanks for that answer, Alex. And Andrew asked a question specifically to Galanda, but can go out to anyone. I don't know the answer to this. Is there a storage limit in ClickUp? And for instance, is there a limit to the number of clips that you can have in your Clips Hub?
So yes, for users on the free plan, there's 100 megabyte storage limit, and your clips do count toward that limit. If you are on any of the paid plans, however, it is unlimited storage. I also wanted to add to that the ClickUp Clips Hub is currently in beta. So it's free and available to everybody right now, but that could change in the future. So if it's something that you'd like to explore, now would be the great time to do that because it is in beta and available to everyone. But don't be surprised if there's a little switcheroo as they finish testing it and finalizing it, that there are some limitations in the free plan as opposed to the paid plans.
Yeah, I do. I love how ClickUp is trying to give us the kind of features that we typically are getting with these other integrated tools, all within the price of ClickUp. Like I just think it's such a game changer, like to be able to use whiteboards and clips and all these other things, like right there. I don't have to jump from this system to that system. It's just such a time saver, right?
Yeah. Even changing your Spotify.
Changing your Spotify. Yeah. All right.
And that's actually very useful, though. Universal search, there's a lot more to say about that and being able to search other tools like HubSpot, but that's for another webinar.
Yeah, that's great. All right. So we have a couple minutes left. I think we got through most of the questions in the backlog. Anyone that follows us enough knows that I really care about impact. And that's really why we exist as an organization. We want to help small businesses and nonprofits that are having a net positive impact in some way. I wanted, with the last few minutes, I'd love to hear any client stories that you're particularly proud of, or like some of the use cases that some of you all have had with some of our more impactful clients. Does anyone have a cool story to share?
Can I volunteer you, Lindsay? I wanted to mention you before on the quickest implementation, because even though for the partnership project, even though that was a 20-hour project, I feel like the solution that you designed for them was basically done and just needed some further refinements. It was fully functional within maybe 7 hours, and that was a robust grant management use case. So I would love to hear a little more about that.
Yeah. Yes, it was really quickly, but I also did want to say that a lot of that was attributed to my point of contact, and our client did a lot of research beforehand. She watched YouTube videos, she read the help articles, she knew the ClickUp terminology, and she knew what the platform was capable of before we even started. So I feel like that lended a hand to us jumping straight in and going straight for a solution. So that is my number one tip. Like, if you want a very quick solution, if you're trying to be really cost efficient, the best thing that you can do is there's a plethora of resources available that are sponsored by ClickUp. But that client, the partnership project, it was really near and dear to my heart. So they are a fiscal sponsor. They manage grants for other nonprofits. So environmental nonprofits, Save the Planet, because this is our home. I don't know why people act like that's really weird. So I was like, I love the mission that they're doing. And grants are tedious. The reporting is tedious, especially when it comes down to hands-on nonprofits that are actually on the field and getting work done. They might not have the resources or the time to really focus on what a grant requires. And so we stood that up really quick, and it's been really helpful, and it's going to allow them to scale because it was a one-woman operation. So now they're able to scale, bring in new people who are coming into a fully fleshed out and functioning system, and I just love to see it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, for Lindsay. And staying true to being on time and ending on time. That is our time. If anyone has any other questions that didn't come up during this session, or if you're watching the session in the future and we're no longer live, please drop the questions in the comments or send us an email. You can send it directly to me, alex@tuckconsultinggroup.com. There are a lot of awesome resources on the website. Feel free to DM me or check out our website and book a time with us. All right. Thank you so much, Alex, Galanda, Berlinci, and Jackie.
Thank you
so much for your insights. All right. Have a great day.
Thanks
Happy
everyone.
Friday.
Bye.
Your weekend.